So you get the idea how the old people think about these things. You know, when you get in trouble, you dance, or sing, or do both at the same time. And of course, it's a metaphor. The dance means the dance of life. There's the tree of life, there's the sorrow of life, and there's the dance of life. And even the modern scientists have figured out that when a person is truly thinking, the cells are sparking off, the cells in the brain are sparking off rhythmically. That is to say, we think in rhythm. We feel in rhythm. When we feel something strongly, the heart goes into a kind of coherence of its own rhythm. So rhythm is at the core of it. And one way to understand what's happened is we have lost the rhythm, the very rhythm of being alive. And another way to understand that is when we lose the rhythm, our soul gets disconnected from the great dance. They used to call it the great dance. And so part of the job is to be alive. And they don't mean simply, the salsa or the rumba or the foxtrot or hip hop. Those are all good. But the dance of life means becoming oneself and dancing with all one's cells and all one's pieces of imagination and all the love that a person can muster, and even all the intensity that a person can gather. That's what it means to be in the dance of life. And so the old stories partially say that we respond to the darkness by deepening the dance, by deepening our way of feeling and deepening our way of imagining. And that way we help the world to come back. And it's significant in a way, I think, that humans are considered to be the dancers at the root of the tree. The dancers, the ones who keep the thing spinning. And the poets all know this. They refer to it repeatedly, particularly the mystical poets and the mythical poets. And I thought I'd throw in a couple of poems because it never hurts much and it could help. This is Rumi. It's called One Song, and it's following this idea that Joanna had mentioned, that we're all rooted and threaded and tied together. And we're really all part of this single dance, that is the dance of loss and then the dance of recovery, and we're all part of the same song. It's called One Song. Listen, what is praised is one. So the praise is really one as well. Many jugs being poured into a huge basin. All religions, one song. All politics, one sad song. All love, one song. All beauty, one song. The differences are just illusion and vanity. Sunlight looks different on that wall than it does on the one here, and a lot different than it does on the one back here. And still it's all one light. So listen, we have borrowed these clothes, these times and space personalities from a light. And when we praise and when we dance, we pour them all back in, for it is all one song, all one dance, all one music, all one song. I know we're in a cathedral. I'm a recovering Catholic myself. And there's this thing about God, To me, God is the fewest number of letters that you can use to refer to the divine. And the way people think about God or the divine is often how we dance or how we act. This is Hafez. It's called the God who only knows 4 words. That would be a relief for a lot of us. Every child has known God, not the God of names, not the God of don't do this and don't do that, not the God who never does anything weird, but the God who knows only 4 words and keeps saying them. Come dance with me. Come dance with me. Come dance with me. That's a good God, don't you think? No dogma required. Just a willingness to dance or stumble in the right direction. Thinking about the turning. This is Rumi again. This is how a human being can change and help to change other things. There's a worm addicted to eating grape leaves who suddenly wakes up call it grace, whatever. Something wakes the worm, and he's no longer simply a worm, for now he's the entire vineyard, and he's the orchard too, and he's the fruit of the trunks, and a growing root of wisdom, and the joy of life that has no need to devour. Listen again. A secret turning within us makes this universe turn. I'll try that again. That's a wild idea, that we could be so tied to the turning that we could be secretly involved in the dance that keeps it going. A secret turning within us makes the universe turn, head unaware of the feet and feet of the head. And neither really cares. They just keep turning. When you feel that turning, walk to the well and turn as the earth and the moon turn, circling around what they love. For whatever circles that way, love's way, comes to the center and helps it all turn. This is a mythological response to the recent election. It's called Cast All Your Votes for Dancing. I know the voice of depression still calls to you. I know you have habits that can ruin your life, and they still send you invitations. But now you are with friends, and you're already beginning to look much stronger. You can stay in that beauty of being centered and begin to bloom. So friends, keep squeezing drops from the sun, from your prayers, and from your work, and your music, and from your companion's beautiful laughter. He's trying to encourage us to make a community and to stay in the community no matter how dark it gets. Keep squeezing drops from the sun and from the sacred hands and the sweet glance of your beloved, and from the most insignificant movements of your own holy body. Learn to recognize the counterfeit coins that might buy you for just a moment of distraction, and then drag you for days like a broken soul behind a farting camel. Always wanted to say that line in a church. But now you are with the friends, so learn what actions of yours can bring delight back to the world and bring the unseen nearer and nearer. Learn what actions of yours bring freedom and love in the midst of the darkness. And keep squeezing drops from the sun and from your prayers and from your work and from your music and from your companion's laughter and from the most insignificant movements of your own holy body. For now is the time to become wise again and cast all your votes for dancing. It's interesting to think that we're voting in more than one world. You know what I mean? A human being is a deep and an amazing thing, and we're not here simply to settle a few minor issues. We're here to help the whole thing turn. That's the notion. And we best do it when we face the dark. We best do it when we face the dark, because the soul knows how to see and feel and move in the dark. And we've come to the dark times. Remember they had that enlightenment? Remember that one? And they were going to shine a light on everything, and everything was going to become clear. Didn't work out too well. And the best light they managed was the huge astrological telescope that went out into the universe, searching with its light to see what was out there. And what did they find? The universe is 93% dark matter and dark energy. The Enlightenment found the darkness. That's what we're in. We're in the endarkenment. Rumi again. A human being is essentially a spirit eye, and whatever you really see, you are that. Secretly, everyone longs to be with the divine, the drunkards as much as those who claim to be awakened. And when the real wine is being passed around, every place is the house of love, the church as well as the synagogue. the tavern too, and the theater as well. So come this way, the way of dancing, the way of dreams, the way of love, the way of imagination. Come this way, for the palace of hope has weak foundations, and the church of purity keeps slipping back into the shadows. And bring some wine along, for life is built on the wind. Friends, understand this. In the ledger of the world, each of us is already marked eternal. You may refuse and avoid that title now, but on the final day it will be revealed in you. So why wait until then to learn what can be discovered here and now? And what can I tell you but the good news from the invisible world that I heard last night as I sat drunk and ruined in a tavern? Hoard each joyous moment and each loving touch that comes to you, for no one knows how this dance will end. One more then. Rumi again. This is advice for living in a dark world at a dark time. The stars come up spinning every night, no matter how sad the story is on earth, for they are bewildered by their own way of loving. They'd grow tired of all that revolving if they weren't. And they begin to complain, how long do we have to do this? Meanwhile, God picks up this reed flute of a world and blows into it. And each note is a need coming through one of us. And each sound is a necessary passion, a dream, and a longing pain. So remember where the lips of the wind breath originated, and let your own life become a clear note, no matter how dark the world gets. Don't worry about the end, for what's coming will come. Just become your note, and you'll learn how that's enough to be in the world. And then go up on your roof at night, right here in Seattle, this city of the soul. Let everyone climb up on their roofs and sing their notes and sing them out loud. And then let the world turn and let the darkness come. Just be your note. Just be your note. Be your note.